So here is the lineup. Ari Hutton starting off the pole with his win in the pre-final. Andy Schofield off the outside of the front row. But Jackson Delamont looking very, very strong there off the second row, Tony.
Yeah, you can see Andy, he's actually got the stay there, and he thought he hadn't got that, but he's obviously got around Ari on the first turn, and this is a really good start by Andy.
That's a great start because he was off the outside of the front row, and that's not the place to be on that run up the hill to turn number 1. So Schofield and Ari Hutton have had some entertaining battles in the Pro Kart series in the KF3 class over the last 3 or 4 months. And you've got to say Schofield's one of the big improvers over the last 12 months in this junior type category.
Yeah, very much so, but you can't beat Track Tom. He's doing a lot of testing, and he's obviously doing the Nationals, he's doing Top Half, he's doing the Misadat Pro Series, so you know, you certainly can't beat Miles when you're dealing with a new product, Jamie.
There's Canberra's Jackson Delamont in the Tony Kart chassis. Didn't know a lot about this kid coming over from Australia, but he's done a pretty solid job this weekend so far.
He's fairly unheard of. Like I've read about him in magazines. He's always a top 6 competitor. We're running out the Stable Kart Centre in Australia, and obviously a new track. He's got the hardest job of everyone. He's dealing with a track he hasn't been to, and probably conditions he hasn't been with for a while. But he's doing a stunning job here.
And it's not one of the easiest tracks, full stop, because you've really got to have the karts set up properly.
It is very, very, very hard. No, he's obviously dealing with a hard tyre as well, which he certainly wouldn't be used to in Australia.
There's the 12 of Aaron Marr out of the Taranaki Kart Club. He's just in behind Bradley Hicks, who's the current North Island champ, running the Maranello chassis. Sponsored by Brandmaster and JK's engines. So Schofield still with the lead. Here's Delamont down the inside of Hutton. The two Tony Karts disputing second and third, but while they're tying each other up, Schofield is getting away out in front.
Yeah, they've got to be careful here, but young Jackson's obviously thought he's really got to get on with this. Maybe Ari's holding him up a little. You certainly wouldn't have thought he was going to make the move. It was quite late, but nice and clean, and we'll keep an eye on him because he might start trucking on up to the lead now.
Well, Bradley Hicks just in behind Hutton. He's been the paceman. He's set the track record every time out so far through the first and second heats and the pre-final. So let's see what they do here. The track time's sort of down in that low 32-second ranges. Hicks goes down the inside of Hutton, who just looks to be struggling early.
Yeah, that's 2 laps in a row that Ari's got past him there. Maybe it's a rear tyre pressure thing. They're probably a little bit low. Well, he's gotten here quite hot, and they've come together a little, but Bradley's given him a little bit of room and hasn't lost too much space.
Well, he can build back the momentum. 22 laps, the longest race for the KF3s over the sprint champs. It's all about momentum, getting through the corners and off the tighter corners here at the ZM Raceway. Hutton with the head down, chased by Bradley Hicks.
Yeah, Ari's obviously starting to push on now. 2 laps in a row, like I said, he got past under brakes, and maybe that's given him a bit of a wake-up call, and he's going to knuckle down probably and try and chase Jackson down.
So this is the final of KF3. He's just on a second, covering the entire field again after qualifying, which has been pretty much the case for all of the classes over the weekend and the Sprint Nationals. Aaron Marr here under pressure from the 38 of Hayden Pedersen. So this will be for 5th and 6th. Just back behind them, the 85 of Rollo Davies in the Tony Kart. 24 there is Patrick Davey from Wellington. 91 Callum Quinn, and the 82 of Liam Lewis. This is Liam's home track here in the Hawke's Bay.
You can see Callum, he's pressing on here pretty hard too. Callum's obviously, like we said, he's one of the biggest juniors out there, and his weight certainly does hurt him when you get to a meeting like this. But he's in good company. These boys obviously some very good local drivers, so he's in a good spot.
There's Jackson Delamont stalking Andy Schofield. Big dive up the inside into turn 1. Got away with it. Schofield tried to live there, but had to concede at the end of it.
He's very similar to the move that he done on Ari. Very, very late, and he's gone in very, very hot. Andy sort of hung himself up on the outside there a little, but probably hasn't lost as much momentum as probably was he would have, certainly wouldn't have helped. So, but we'll keep an eye on young Andy. He'll come back at him.
Bradley Hicks now 3rd, Ari Hutton back there in 4th. So these are a 125 water-cooled, these engines introduced over the last couple of seasons in New Zealand kart sport, as Hicks goes down the inside of Schofield.
Yeah, young Andy might be struggling a little bit. He could have overheated his tyres because he got at the gate very quick. But yeah, like you said, Jamie, 125cc water-cooled, electric start, little dry centrifugal clutch on them with the standard Yamaha style of carburetor on them. Nice quiet little motor, which is obviously in this day and age, noise is a big problem. So they certainly suit the the climate that we're in at the moment.
And from an engine maintenance point of view, a lot of turnaround time between engine rebuilds?
They're reasonably good. Obviously, it just depends on how much racing you do. If you want to race every weekend, your maintenance bill is going to be a lot higher than if you raced every sort of 2 to 3 weeks. So it's like anything, really.
So Jackson Delamont, the Australian. It's been a little while since we've seen an Australian win the national title here in New Zealand, but Bradley Hicks is working him over. You'd have to go back to probably, I think, Tyson Pearce at Hamilton. Well, what class was that?
You're probably going back to early Formula 100 days, or I don't think Tyson ever won a Yamaha title. But
I think you might be right. I think it was a Formula 100 class. But Jackson Delamont, he's going to win it for the Australians. There's a big upset for the New Zealand title. Jackson Delamont from Canberra in Australia takes out the final of KF3 from the North Island champ Bradley Hicks, Andy Schofield, defending champ Ari Hutton, Hayden Pedersen and Aaron Marr.
Jackson, mate, that was a storming drive. Where did you find the pace from in those last few laps?
I just started driving and I was team to catch him. I just didn't have to throw it in and pass him and then just sat there and drive.
I knew starting off 2 I had to get the jump on 1 to have a chance of winning, so I got that done, and the next lap I was going to start blocking, but number 27, he just passed me at the end, and I don't know, it just went off at the end.
His car wasn't too great at the start, so had a bit of a push just sitting there behind the rest of the pack, but at the end the car was really coming on. I reckon another couple of laps I probably would have had him.
Big hand, everybody!